Sod houses, pots of coal to warm beds, reading by candlelight, gathering around the fireplace singing hymns together. These were the simpler times in life, the Laura Ingalls Wilder times. Times without technology, without mobile devices. Now there are apps that enable a house to turn off its lights with the click of a button. There are electric heating blankets. Reading is done on a mobile device without any overhead light needed. And music is listened to and shared with earbuds or Bluetooth devices. Sure, technology has made day-to-day tasks easier, more streamlined and efficient, and less complicated. But the one thing that has changed for the worse, family connections and interactions with each other. Laura Ingalls and her family had face-to-face conversations, worked as a family unit to solve problems and interacted with each other daily. I'm pretty sure Laura's mom never had to scream to get Laura's attention because her music was too loud, or grounded her because she was tweeting after lights out. Mobile devices and social media are the root of some very negative changes in the communications and interactions between individuals and their family members. Families need to be aware of these damaging effects that the overuse of these devices and platforms can have on their families. In order to diminish the potential harm to a family's interrelationships, they need to be aware of these. Today, by discussing some of these negative impacts, such as emotional distress, blurred boundaries, and withdrawal from each other, I will persuade you to make an effort to disconnect from your devices and reconnect with your family. Let's at first look at the emotional hardships that can be caused from the overuse of mobile devices. The simple technology-free times and the dark ages of analog are behind us, with a shiny new world full of gadgets taking its place. The evolution of technology hasn't slowed down, and neither has the use of mobile devices or social media in our homes, work, and school. James Sayers, talking back to Facebook, published in 2012, states that nearly 1 billion people have Facebook memberships and own a cell phone account. According to medicalnewstoday.com, is cell phone addiction on the horizon from September 2014. College students spend an astonishing average of 9 to 10 hours a day on their cell phones. Technology advancements have undoubtedly enhanced communication and connectivity, but emotional distress resulting from these enhancements is a noticeable downfall. After overlooked because the general consensus regarding mobile devices is favorable, pointed out by Janice Hansen in her book 24/7, How Cell Phones and the Internet Changed the Way We Live, Work, and Play, published in 2007, these wonderful inventions have done so much to liberate us from traditional ways of working or communicating with friends and family. However, these inventions have family members competing against each other in mobile devices for each other's attention, often resulting in the feelings of resentment and anger streaming down from the frustrations involved in trying to get the attention of a family member. Both parents and children start to fight for each other's genuine attention and can seem less able to focus well in the distracting world of digital media. In 2013, The Digital Invasion, How Technology is Shaping Your Relationship, authors Archibald and Sylvia Hart point out that a sense of loss or loneliness can start to form from being overly connected to technology, causing barriers to be built within the family. Strayer has many valid points regarding technology over social media, that it causes basic human abilities to emotionally relate and connect with each other to be damaged, stunted, or underdeveloped, and wear down to emotional numbness. Meaningful communication and emotional signals are ignored, interpersonal skills are underdeveloped, and social anxiety threatens the quality of relationships. According to Eon's documentary Public Exposure, DNA, Democracy and the Wireless Revolution from September 2010, behavioral effects can also present themselves in forms of depression, anxiety, attention span deficit, and memory loss. Offering no benefits, these consequences can damage the bonds with one another and can add significant emotional stress to the lives of millions of families. Now let's take a look at how blurred boundaries and families' roles can affect a family's integrity. In 1986, as stated by Victor Mayer Schnomberger in Big Data from 2014, around 40% of the world's computing power took the form of pocket calculators. But now mobile devices are capable of processing the same amount of data and information as a full-size computer. Being constantly plugged into technology and following the latest trends over mobile devices and social media is causing important individual and family boundaries to blur, leaving little distinction between the roles. The Journal of Marriage and Family from December 2005 supports that the idea that the use of cell phones and other mobile devices increases the lines drawn between family and work life continue to blur. Moms and dads are sending work emails on their phones at home during dinner, and children are isolating themselves in their rooms watching YouTube videos, posting to Instagram or Snapchat, and texting each other. None of these examples are serving a clear or definite purpose and are distracting families from their domestic roles as being moms, dads, siblings, and children. Instead, they are moms and dads focusing on work after spending hours at the office and only half listening to their children, and children are teaching themselves with digital devices and media, leaving them misinformed and making foolish choices. When roles are blurred, domestic duties aren't handled effectively. Needs or wants of family members aren't met, and their stress levels increase rather than decrease, stated by Hansen. The lack of separation between different roles and duties inside the home versus outside the home is causing non-domestic sectors and duties to spill over to family life. Family members are getting overwhelmed, feeling like they don't have enough time to balance work and home or study and play, which leads to further frustration. Finally, let's look at the potential withdrawal and disconnection from each other and their surroundings an individual might have from excessive use of mobile devices. Another negative setback from being plugged into technology day in and day out is a withdrawal from each other and family surroundings. As a family sits down to share a bowl of popcorn and watch a movie together, one child clicks away to nonstop text message, the other child is taking selfies to Snapchat to a friend, dad is fighting a clan war, and mom takes a call from her sister. No one in the family is aware of the other or the reason they are all gathered together. The entire family seems attached to their devices and detached from each other and their surroundings. The lack of interest of what is happening outside of a digital world leads to family members disengaging from each other and sharing little to no meaningful or fulfilling interactions with one another. Archibald and Sylvia Hart discuss that often, in order to avoid acknowledging the withdrawal and to remain distracted from the looming cloud of loneliness, family members delve deeper into the use of technology, mobile devices, and social applications to distract them from the disconnection, which only leads to further detachment and withdrawal. The constant use of technology has caused emotional and situational withdrawal within family members and leaves them feeling isolated and unable to interact appropriately when the occasion should arise. The reality is that family members are disconnected from one another, and the ability to fully function as a working unit becomes a distant probability. Today, we have looked at 3 of the major consequences to a family's relationship and strength from the excessive use of social media and or mobile devices. We must accept that we live in a world of technology, but that doesn't mean we have to let it consume our lives and our interactions with our family members. Laura Ingalls and her family communicated and worked together without technology, establishing their bonds with one another, strengthening their relationships, severing these precious emotional connections, blurring boundaries between the mobile world and home, and withdrawing from one another in severe consequences that could have devastating effects on a family.